Well, Round couldn't get that out. Going through that time was Healy, but another scrimmage developed. The umpire said hold on the ball.
It's one way of clearing it.
Well, that's a good idea as far as the Swans are concerned. A hand pass coming out there to Reid in the back pocket. Goes for a pass out towards half back. Ball hits the deck again. That's Carroll going after. Taps the ball on, but Nick in the way. That time of Cruz picks it up nicely. A good hand pass to Jarrett, a little bit slow, but finally got the ball back. But Carroll going through. He's grabbed. Plenty of hard tackling going on by both sides. Bernie Evans pushes it back again. That's the second time he grabbed it, and the ball is out of bounds. Out of bounds on the centre wing position. And the Swans at the moment 4 straight shots for goal, 24 points to Melbourne, 1 goal, 7 points. Just on the 19.5-minute mark of the first quarter. Oh, beautiful players. It's picked up by Hounsell, playing pretty well this first quarter. He's got plenty of mates for the Swans. Down there looking for Sutton, who goes to punch, but not good enough, and the umpire's got to pay a mark. And that'll be a mark to Robert Flower, down there at short of half back. Long hand pass from O'Donnell over to Johnson on his own. Another short pass. There's a chance now for let me see what it is. It's Conley, I should say, but it's a bad kick, and the mark taken down there by Reid once again, who's doing pretty well with Jackson down there, but that's not such a good kick. And we see the mark taken by McLean. They go back into attack again, up there towards the full forward position. A good mark to Temple. He's got to play that one. That was a good mark to Temple in the middle of the pack. And of course, he's only about 10 or 12 metres out.
Yes, a fine mark to Kelvin Temple, but poor play by John Reid. If he'd looked to the other side of the ground, he had 3 Swan players all on their own, and when he tried to get it to Barry Round, he was well covered, and we see the result, probably a Melbourne goal.
There's the kick now by Temple, and right through the middle.
If you've tried all the
points in the first quarter, which has been in progress 21 minutes. McLean doing the lion's share of the ruck work for Melbourne, taking on Barry Round again, won by the latter. Wilson. Carter goes the punch. Moore tries to intercept. Danaher's there. Reid again. See the disposal this time. A chance for Rhys Jones and Hounsell. Rhys Jones looking for someone to give it to. No one running past. Has to go long up toward Brady. Mark number 1 for the Swans full forward. Gets it moving directly. Long to the goal square, but well off target. And almost a mark taken down there by Dixon, but it's out of bounds. It will be a boundary throw-in, left forward pocket for the Swans, who lead by 11 points. Ron Barassi and Adrian Gallagher, with Barry Richardson looking suitably concerned. Knocked down by Brady. Carroll scouts well, forward pocket, tries to hook it back close to goal. Into the opposite pocket, 2 Swans almost spoiled each other. Is that a mark? No.
Well, Brady should have gone after the ball instead of appealing for the mark there, Bob.
A little bit of talking wouldn't have gone astray either. Let's see if the Demons can get out of this. Rhys Jones. Tackled by Conley, lovely sidestep. A shot at goal, off target, and that's their first behind, I think. Yes, it is for the match. 4-1-25 to 2-1-13. 2 goals the difference. Sevens big league from the SCG.
22.5 minutes gone. Short pass coming out here to McLean, and took a nice slips catch to take that mark down there in the back pocket. McLean's kick is out there towards the half back line now. Jackson in front, a great mark by Jackson. Moore on the scene too late. My golly, he's played a great first quarter, this fellow.
He has.
One of their best players. The wait now for Jackson to drive this deep into attack, looking down there for Sutton or Brady. He's going to go for the long kick. Sutton swamped here. Brady coming in from the back. Can he get him on the head, actually? Finally coming in to meet at his right, staying down wisely. Not a very good kick. It's a bad one. Goes to Evans. Got a touch of the fumbles. This gives Johnson a chance to break clear. He hasn't played a bad game this first quarter either. As the ball is finally kicked down there towards Reid, and Fidge. Reid kicked that along the ground after dropping the mark. Kicked off the ground again by Fidge over to Moore. Overruns the ball. Kicked off the ground again by Melbourne down there, but Ackley's in the way. Goes for a long hand pass, and there we see Browning take the hand pass there at fullback, and a magnificent pass out there to Rhys Jones. He gets around 2 opponents. This fella's a brilliant player when he's getting loose. Finally, it's over to Hounsell, another star for the Swans in this first quarter. Another hand pass over to Carroll at centre half forward. A long shot for goal, and how about that one? What a beauty!
Deserved a goal. started in the back pocket.
Beautiful play by the Swans. 5 goals, 131 to Melbourne, 2-1-13. All starting down there from that back pocket position from Browning.
Yes, when Ackley got the hand pass across to Browning and really swapped play across to the other flank, and we saw both Rhys Jones and Hounsell having a hand in it, and a lovely kick from Dennis Carroll.
Half a minute away from time on. 18 points the difference in favour of the Swans after that goal by Carroll from a long kick and a fine passage of play that began with Browning. Morwood, another snapshot at goal. Will it roll through? No, not this one. It hit the post. We saw Mark Browning wobble one through earlier in the quarter, but 5-2 the Swans moved their score on to. 32 points, Melbourne 2-1-13. Ball comes back into play from Stephen Smith. Palmed down by Cruz. The umpire's whistle has gone. A free kick will go to who? Stephen Ick. Ick just up from the right back pocket. Underneath it, Rhys Jones. Taken away by McCarthy. Up the right half forward. In the road, Jackson, probably the Swans' best player in the first quarter. Jackson's kicked to left half forward. Great grab by Cruz. Hounsell holding the ball, could have been penalised. O'Donnell, offloaded by Carroll. Picking it up well, Boris Boyce, calling for it. Evans, onto Cruz, steadies and goals. Good passage of play. We saw the two helmeted players in the thick of things. Cruz capping it off. The Swans 6-2, Melbourne 2-1.
Yes, well, once again, a fine piece of teamwork, because Boyce gets a hand pass across to Evans, straight away to Cruz, and it was a good hip and shoulder bump from Dennis Carroll that really set things up for that piece of play.
Well, Barry Richardson, Ron Barassi and Adrian Gallagher and Stan Alves all looking perhaps a little bit pensive. Yes. Things aren't going the Demons' way at the moment.
Well, they've got concern there, the way the Swans are playing at the moment, Peter. Noted about that.
Well, the Swans often start off like this. Can they keep going?
Well, their record up here this year is excellent.
25 points the difference at the SCG in favour of the Swans, thumped away by Round.
There's a chance now for Cruz, couldn't get around that one. Oh, fresh air shot that time by Ick. There's the shot by Connolly down there towards centre half forward, and a mark taken here by Healy. Healy with the ball about 60 metres out from goal. And the Demons badly needing one at the moment. There's the kick, not a bad sort of a boot down there, looking for Peter Moore and Templeton. Moore at the back got his hands, but Browning had a grab. And the umpire may have found a free kick to Jackson. And I think you'll agree, you people watching this game wherever you are throughout Australia, he's just about the best player on the ground in this first quarter.
Not a doubt there, Lou.
Ball falling short. Now that's Rhys Jones outmanoeuvred Connolly that time. He's played a great game. A hand pass to Hounsell. This fella's a danger with a pass down there to Brady, but it's too long. Smith couldn't grab it. A beautiful pick up by Sutton. A shot at goal. This is a goal. Oh, are they running hot at the moment, the Swans? Oh, they should be happy. 7-2-44 to Melbourne, 2-1-13.
And speaking of fine players, Colin Hounsell on the wing has really been in everything. Rhys Jones giving the across to Hounsell. Hounsell going for the short pass, just a little high. Smith not being able to take it, and Sutton swooping on the ball and finishing it off.
Interestingly, Bob, 7 players have kicked their 7 goals.
Wonder what Barassi's thinking about Sutton. Ricky Quaid would be pretty happy, but he knows it's a long way from home yet. Barry Round with a chance to knock this one out. He does, not a good one. Kicked away by Johnson, down there towards Smith at half back. He picks it up okay away from Flower. Kicked out wide towards the wing position. And it beats the pack and the ball is out of bounds. Out of bounds on the centre wing position. And at the moment the Swans 7-2-44 to Melbourne 2-1-13. Just on 28 minutes gone.
Melbourne have swung their wings, Lou.
There's the kick by Connolly down there, but there we see once again a Swan defender in the way. It was taken this time by Carter. Carter out there at half back. Swans defence looking good at the moment. At the back as Sutton got his hands but couldn't hold the mark. There's a stack up and the umpire will ball it up at centre half forward for the Swans, about 55 metres out from their goal. 28 and a half minutes gone, and a very good quarter by the Swans, the first one. Knocked out by McLean, but once again it's Rhys Jones out to Hounsell. They've got something going, these two. They've been cooperating well as we see Hounsell drive it down there, but it's too short, and a good mark taken in defence at full-back by Smith.
He's been one of Melbourne's best players. Of course, he's had plenty of work down there. He's had the better of Brady in that duel. Mark taken out on the centre wing by Connolly. Reid backing into it. Coming over the top is Carter and takes it over the top of Healy. Rod Carter at right half-back flank. Well, Round got a nice old nudge out. The mark is taken subsequently there.
Free kick to Round.
At least it is a free kick to him. Dixon took the mark. On to Browning. Oh, beautiful kick by Browning. Brady and Smith. Knock on. Here's a chance for a goal if he can gather it in. Morris Boyce. He does so. Snapshot is true. And Boyce has put it through.
That was fine play on the part of Boyce. Bobby had a ton of time once he cleared himself his opponent then.
8 goals 2 to 2 goals 1. So 8 players have kicked the Swans 8 goals.
Yes, and on replay again, we see as Smith punches the ball away and roving to perfection, and they might be short of actual small players out there today, but those other players, we've just witnessed Sutton and now Boyce putting the ball through in fine small man style. Rhys Jones injured and out of the centre down to the forward pocket.
A little bit bad luck for them, because he's been one of their driving forces so far in the first quarter. 30 minutes gone in the opening term. The umpire has found a free kick. It's going Melbourne's way. It'll be taken by McCarthy, who goes for the hand pass on to Johnson. Not Johnson, Wright. Carter has taken the mark as the siren goes for the end of the first quarter. A good one by the Swans, especially in the latter half of it. They kicked 8 goals to 50 points, leading Melbourne 2-1-13.
Player, every time that Rhys Jones gets possession of the ball, his disposal, particularly by hand, and the understanding in that term between Rhys Jones and Colin Hounsell was absolutely great. And Hounsell kept going past, taking the hand pass and then putting that long drop punt up to the forward area, where they've got a very tall last line up in the forward area today, and that's possibly one of the problems at times when it does come up. I believe that Brady should do a lot more leading up the ground.
Yes.
And let the high flying be done in the square by Daryl Sutton, as Rhys Jones, heavily bandaged around the knee, now does come back onto the ground. But it's interesting that he's not going to the centre, he's going down to the forward line.
Well, that'll be a bit of a loss, Bob, because as you mentioned, a very constructive player in that centre position, Rhys Jones.
Well, he's noticeably limping.
Yes, it's certainly a blow, but they're off to a good start, Pete.
Well, obviously they don't think it's that serious, otherwise I dare say he would have come off. I did see Henderson receiving some massage from the trainers at quarter time, but